Do you also have a personal problem that you would like to discuss with Bertolt in the podcast? We would love to have you as our guest. Check out the link in the show notes of this episode for more info. And who knows, we will see each other in the studio.
Welcome to the Flip Thinking Podcast. In this podcast, you'll listen to intimate conversations between Bertolt Gunster and his guests. Together, they'll explore the guest's personal problem and try to make it feel lighter or make it disappear altogether. This can be achieved in different ways. Sometimes they can simply solve the problem, but more often than not, they'll find that they have to let go of expectations or views they hold about themselves. At other times, they can only observe the fact that there is a problem without judging it. And in some cases, they can flip think the problem.
Well, good morning. It's morning now, and good to have you here.
Yeah.
And before we get started, can you tell me something about yourself?
Yes, my name is Mirjam. I'm 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Dutch.
Dutch.
And so my English might be a bit rusty, but it's better than Van Gaal.
Yeah, Louis van Gaal.
Louis
For those
van
who don't
Gaal.
know Van Gaal, he's a Dutch trainer working in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a very good English speaker. You can hardly hear that it's not his native language.
The death or the gladioles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you've lived in the UK, you told me before the conversation starts.
Yeah, from my 20th till 30th.
Yeah.
And now I'm 44.
Okay.
And I've got a husband, a cat.
A cat?
Live near The Hague. And I'm a hospital nurse. And I work with preterm born babies and ill babies.
Yeah. That's your profession.
Yeah.
And you're a quite fanatic sports women, I might say.
Yeah, I like long distance running and long distance cycling.
Real long distance, right?
Yeah, real long distance.
Long distance, yeah.
Well, actually, the half marathon is my favorite distance.
Yeah.
I do marathons, but I prefer the half.
And you did train for the Ironman, right?
Yeah, once.
You told me up front once, yeah?
Yeah,
which
once.
also includes swimming and cycling.
Yeah.
So quite sporty, one could say. But you're not here to talk about your sports achievements, but about a personal
problem.
About your problem. So tell me, what's your problem?
Well, it's a bit of a weird problem, a bit complicated as well. I've got problems with calling in sick when I'm ill. Mm-hmm. And there's a second problem. For example, I need to cry about something, and I kind of feel I've kind of used credits. When I call in ill, I feel I lose credits. And then I know that people are ill sometimes.
Yeah, and it's part of your job, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
And I know it's part of the game. And when other people calling sick, I don't think, oh my God, well, they've got issues. But for myself, I feel kind of guilty because I put pressure on people. Other people have to work for me. People have to arrange this. Oh my God, she's ill again.
All kinds of thoughts in your mind.
Lots of thoughts, yeah.
So being ill there's no possibility of being ill in your life.
Yeah, I'm sick of being sick because it worries me more than having the flu.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you give me, maybe this is a good starting point, a quite embarrassing example where you should have admitted to your environment, I am sick, ill, whatever, but you still try to perform?
Yeah, that was very recently. I've got a history. I had cancer in the past. It's all going really well, breast cancer. I recovered very well, but at the time I had chemotherapy.
How old were you?
32.
32, so 12 years ago, roundabout, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And since then, very healthy, never problems. But at the time, I had things like lung embolia, like a blood clot in my lung, nearly heart failure. Some issues you get when you got chemos.
Yeah, very serious.
Yeah,
I
at
presume,
the time,
right.
Yeah. And at the time, every time I felt like, oh, this is a bit strange. There was something. So I could kind of trust my own feeling about my body. Mm-hmm. Now I was running this half marathon, and if you don't run, you would think, oh yeah, that's quite a distance. But I run and a lot of
For you, half
races.
marathon is a piece of cake, in a way.
Yeah, it isn't because you want to run at a certain pace, but generally the distance, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And no offense to people who, run it for the first time, because I'm very impressed with them. But it's just you have to relate it to what I normally do.
Right.
At some stage, I felt like this pressure on my chest. And it felt like when I had these blood clots in my lungs. But as a hospital nurse now, I know how dangerous that is. So I got a bit scared and I was thinking...
how old were you at that time?
Oh, that was
the running half marathon?
5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago. The recent examples. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I got a bit scared. So I thought, okay, this is making it worse because I'm scared. So I have to watch my breathing. And, I thought I'll just run till the finish because no one will know that something's wrong.
But just slow down. Physically, it was dangerous, right? In a way.
Yeah, to me, I thought if this is what I feel it is, then it can be dangerous.
Yeah. Right.
But at the same time, I was scared because of my problem while I'm here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm attention seeker.
Yeah. Attention seeker.
Attention seeker. That's the word. That's
attention
awful.
seeker.
Yeah.
Oh, are you starting to sweat now? Or?
Yeah.
Attention seeker.
Yeah.
You don't want to be an attention seeker.
No.
So, but you felt this on your chest?
It's a very, but it's a bit of a fake kind of feeling because I could still run, not as fast, but you got these days that sometimes you run, don't have a good day. But it started 5 kilometers and I thought, well,
You had 16 to go, so, right?
Yeah. And I thought, just slow down a bit and keep going. Then I got this breathing thing. Maybe I'm hyperventilating. But at some stage, it got worse and worse. And I thought, I really don't trust this. So I decided I need to get out. So I didn't want to go out to stop where there were lots of children because I was scared of making them scared.
And you don't want to be an attention seeker.
No.
So we already have established this.
Yeah.
So you want to drop dead where nobody is.
Yeah.
This would be the best scenario.
Yeah.
If you would drop dead, then please, where nobody would
notice
be a witness.
At the time,
right.
Yeah. So I saw an ambulance, too many people. I thought, okay, carry on.
Oh, you saw an ambulance, but you
but I didn't
kept on... But the ambulance was the reason you could stop there, but you didn't.
I didn't, no, because there were lots of people and kids and...
Yeah, you want to, as we know, you want to drop dead where nobody is. Right.
Exactly, yeah.
So you kept on running?
I kept on running. Around 14 kilometers, I saw 2 policemen on the left-hand side without people around it. And I thought, this is
the moment.
I'm just going to check with them, like, what do you think? So
As if policemen... I think policemen I think an ambulance is a better place to inform.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, but you did, right?
They do go through a lot, so they've seen a lot and they've...
you hope so, yeah. So you stopped,
yeah,
right?
And I said, look, I don't feel well and I don't have a good feeling about it, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So I'm scared. I'm like
then
moaning
they said, go
for
back
nothing,
to the ambulance a few months. Yeah. How did they respond?
Yeah, well, they were really kind, and apparently I looked a bit pale, grayish kind of thing because they called an ambulance.
They did?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and
you were on the verge of
but at the same time, I was really scared because when I laid down, it got worse. And I thought, this could be this lung thing or heart thing. So the ambulance came.
So to be clear, the moment you stopped, then you experienced the problem was actually worse than you had experienced it during walking, right? Am I right?
Well, it got the same. But when you have a blood clot in your lungs, when you lay down, you feel the pressure is more than when you sit up. And that's what I experienced then. So I thought, it could well be. So I got a bit more scared then.
Right, alarm bells.
Yeah. So at that stage...
And they called an ambulance?
And they called an ambulance. Yeah. And I knew one of the ambulance guys because he also works in the same hospital. And I did the rope run with him. So he knows my body. He knows the half marathon shouldn't be a problem. So
what a coincidence that you knew him.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So he was a bit shocked as well. So I felt guilty because he was like, oh my God. And
you felt guilty?
Yeah, straight away because I thought, oh my God, what I'm doing to him.
Yeah, now he knows.
Now he knows. But also it's hard if you see, to bring back to life people. Yeah. When you know someone, it's pretty hard. It can be pretty hard. So, but anyway,
I thought you were feeling sorry for him.
Yeah.
That if he might have to bring you back to life, this would be a problem for him.
Yeah, and also that he thought...
Do you really have a problem? You're not here for no reason.
I'm glad I've convinced you now.
You are
lying
you're on the verge of dying. And
in the end, I wasn't. But,
at that stage, that could be. And then an ambulance was called. I'm just trying to summarize the severeness of the situation. Then the ambulance came. 2 people in the ambulance. One of them, you knew them.
Yeah.
And then you felt embarrassed because he might have to bring you back to life, and this would be a shock for him or whatever. You really have a problem.
Thank you. I'm glad I've convinced you. I've got 2 problems. A
physical one, but more a psychological one, right?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. And physically, eventually. Well, anyway, I went to this ambulance. They did ECG, where you check your heart rhythm, and they gave me some nitro spray. It's a spray underneath your tongue which widens your blood vessels. So if you have a heart attack, that will ease off.
Yeah.
And it did ease off. And he saw something wrong on the ECG. So he said, "Let's make it."
You didn't lie there with no reason, fortunately. Yeah.
So
for you, I presume,
had a double,
right?
So one way I was scared, and my psychological problem thought, well, thank God is at least something, because
I'm not here with no reason.
I'm not an attention seeker. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So he made an A1. Anyway,
actually, this is quite stupid. You were glad that you had a physical problem, where you should have been glad that you would have
I was
no physical problem in a way.
Yeah, I was scared because of the physical problem. Because oh my God, I don't want to be a heart patient or something like that. At the same time, at least I'm not making it up.
Yeah, you were relieved that you had a real problem.
In a way, yeah.
And you survived because you're here. So what happened? Yeah. How did the situation evolve?
So we went to the hospital.
You went
They took blood. Because they saw they took blood, and there was also some things that it could be a cardiac problem or a lung problem.
Yeah.
So there they took some more blood, and they decided to keep me there for the night with a telemetry. When they check your heart rate and your heart rhythm continuously.
Yeah, you have to be monitored.
Yeah. But that was
during
also,
the night.
Yeah, that's also because when I was in hospital, everything was fine and like saturation 100%, as if there was nothing wrong. But because of my medical background, I had to stay.
Because of your chemos and breast cancer, or what do you mean, what do you refer to with your
and the things that happened then with, and also because of that radiotherapy, and it could actually harm your heart in the long term.
Yeah, so they just want to be sure that everything was all right. So you stayed there for the night?
Yeah, so I stayed there for the night. At the same time...
Did your husband come over there?
Yeah. I called him first and I said, right, I don't want to make you jump, and then I cried. So obviously it shocked him, but I could tell him I'm absolutely fine now. So whatever it is, I'm fine now.
Yeah.
Then my mom is really scared something happens. She's already worried when I go running, which is... nearly every day. So
she's worried every day.
Well, if she would know when I was, fortunately, I don't tell her I'm going now running.
Yeah.
But if she would know, then she kind of worries. She's really sweet. She's
kind of attention finder.
Kind of. She's just the sweetest person on earth, and she said, "I could never miss you." So we're really close. So I understand. She's just a protective mom, like moms are sometimes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. No,
but she is.
So she is.
She's loving and caring.
She's very loving and caring.
And she came to the hospital too with you.
No. So, but I called her and said I didn't feel very well. I listened to my body. Everything's fine now. But they're doing a double check. Double check.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Right.
So she was worried, but I couldn't prevent that. But I did feel sorry for also. I got like all these apps like you should have finished by now, but you're not there. Are you all right? I feel something wrong because you've got this chip in your start number. And you've got this race number. There's a chip in there.
Yeah, so you were lost. They missed you.
Yeah, so all these people thought, oh my God, they're all worried. So I was really busy, and I thought, oh my God, what are these people thinking on the ER? Like this woman is on the phone all the time. But I had to like tell these people, like, okay, I'm fine. Just had a bit of a... So I took a picture of the monitor saturation, very good, heart rate, very good, and breathing.
Don't worry about me.
Don't worry.
I'm fine.
Check up because of the cancer incident.
Yeah. So they all gave you a lot of attention.
Yeah, and they were very, very kind. And I thought, oh my God. So anyway, I stayed there for the night. The day after, because the next blood results went a little bit worse. But in the end, I heard that could also be because you're running. The values in your blood can be a little bit high because of that. They did,
which is normal for people who run. So nothing to really worry about.
Yeah, he wasn't that shocked.
Yeah.
Then they did when they go in your wrist.
In your vessel,
in your veins. With the camera, and they look at your heart to make sure that it wasn't like a heart attack. They did an echo, X-ray. Everything was absolutely fine. They said the whole hospital would be jealous of the state of your heart.
Great. Which is great news.
So I was like, I was really happy. Really, really happy. At the same time, I was like, oh my God, all this fuss.
For nothing.
For nothing. And I wasn't, I was having a night shift that night. and I just wanted to go to work. But apparently, when they've been in.
But didn't you want to finish the run? You didn't finish, did you? Just as an aside,
a few days later, but anyway, and I didn't finish the race on time.
No, you didn't. But you wanted to go back to work as soon as you could, as soon as possible.
Actually, that night I thought maybe if my husband brings my badge, then I can just sleep here during the day and I can just work because I'm in the same
the problem
hospital.
is getting worse. Yeah, thank you very much.
But my the manager said, no, you really need to take some time off. Yeah, so
sleep.
Those 2 shifts I didn't work them, but.
No, you must have felt guilty.
My problem in my head was like massive.
Yeah, right. Can you give words to this massive problem in your head?
Yeah, attention seeker.
Yeah. There's the word
There's
again.
nothing wrong, and she's.
She wants attention.
She seeks attention
all
the way with an ambulance.
I'm lying here.
Yeah.
So you're an attention seeker. This is what you're afraid of to come across as an attention seeker, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me something about your past or maybe your childhood or your upbringing? How were you informed? What kind of idea built up in your mind how you should be, how you should behave, how you should act up in life?
Yeah. Well, my parents got divorced when I was 1.5. Well, actually, he left our house when I was 1.5.
Yeah.
But the divorce took till I was 21. So it's always been a bit of a red line, do you call it that way?
Running theme?
Running theme. My mom is really, really sweet. And
so they broke up, but they didn't, and they did, and didn't.
The court cases. No, they did. They definitely did.
The follow-up was complicated. 20 years of follow-up?
Yeah. I think it's a record. Yeah.
20 years of problems, conflicts.
Yeah, on and off, but they were definitely there. Yeah.
Did you have a brother or sister?
Yeah, sister. Yeah.
Was she older or younger than you?
A year and a half older.
Older.
So it's really.
You were very close in age.
Very close. Yeah, but also very close.
As sisters.
We were a team. We're like, oh, thank God we got each other when it got hard.
So your mother had a really hard time, I presume.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with how she handled the situation.
How did she handle the situation?
That she kept going. I think my mom is a person who is putting others first and then herself all the way behind.
So your mother doesn't really seek attention?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
The opposite.
Yeah.
So how would you call somebody who is the opposite of an attention seeker?
Quiet mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have more quiet mouse? Is a bit negative, but I think you have positive words too, right? For someone who doesn't seek attention and is strong and perseveres and takes her or his own responsibility without needing other people, without being dependent of other people.
Yeah.
So independent might be, I presume, a good word.
Yeah.
Strong, independent. So these are mine words. What would the words be that would describe your mother?
I'm just thinking of the English word for bescheiden.
Modest.
Modest. Yeah, modest. Yeah.
Just doing your thing without seeking attention.
Yeah.
When life gets rough, take a deep breath and carry on.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't really need other people, do it on yourself.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think she was kind of dependent in some ways because she got a lot of fears. Some people have naturally scared of a lot of things, and she is like that. That she got some
scared for
traveling on her own. Well, she did at the time, but going out of her comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you sometimes need people. But how she handled the situation with getting an income enough for us to get through life properly, I'm just very proud of her how she did, and also how she brought us up into me quite a healthy way, even though it was really stressful at times. And because my dad, we didn't see him a lot till I was about 8, my sister 10. Mm-hmm. And then he wanted us to go there for the weekends. Mm. And
after so many years without having contact.
Yeah,
and did you go over for the weekends after this? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how was it to be with your father? And did you go together with your sister, the two of you?
Yeah. Fortunately, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say because I think he meant well, and he definitely meant best for us. But it was really stressful because you do everything you do, but also the way you are is generally wrong. He needed us to be successful, and so he can kind of show off with us. And we were very normal. We didn't stand out. We were just being us, which was fine up till then, but from then it wasn't.
So he was in a way seeking attention
Yeah,
for himself through you, via.
Yeah. So he sometimes exaggerated things we did in a positive way to other people, but then he said things that weren't even true. Like when I was an adult and lived in the UK, I was a manager in a hotel restaurant, and then he told people I was having my own hotel, and then I said, no, I haven't. I said, don't be daft. I've got a salary. I've got a monthly salary, and I'm
just modest, like my mother is.
Pulling pints.
I'm a mouse.
Yeah, I'm a mouse, and he was.
I'm not a lion.
Yeah, I don't feel a mouse because I'm in a way eccentric. I'm not a shy, really quiet person, but I don't mind seeking attention in a positive way, but in a negative way. And besides that, every time we were having a hard time, we tried to tell him, it was like he either got angry or, I could tell a very strong sense of not being enough, or to my sister when she was scared of lighting a match. She was scared of lighting a match, for example. I'd give one example. And then he's like swearing at her, and I could really feel that, like, in my heart of, like, why are you saying that to my sister? She's a child.
Are you emotional now at this moment?
Yeah.
So can you tell me what's happening with you right now?
I think my dad meant well, but it was always so tense, so stressful. And there were these court cases, and he tried to get information out of us, but we weren't allowed to. Well, we felt that he wanted to know things that we shouldn't tell him, or it was always, you always have to mind every step, but at the same time he got scared because we were so tense. Like, oh, you're so scared, you're just like your mom,
which is quite painful too to hear,
yeah, because I loved her too, and at the same time I felt sorry for him because he always mentioned that he was having a really hard time with everything.
He didn't remarry or have somebody else, or was he single? Eventually.
Yeah.
But so when I get things right, you and your mother and your father had these severe fights going to court, which lasted till you were 21, right? If I recall right. Yeah. And so you were in between these enormous powers between your father and your mother.
Yeah.
Fighting together. This must have been devastating, these visits to your father.
Yeah, it was
for the both of you.
Yeah.
It must have teared you apart in a way, didn't it?
Yeah, it was really hard. I did have lots of help for this problem, so I think we tried it very well. Yes,
afterwards, right?
Yeah. So I kind of learned a lot, and my psychologist kind of explained to me the way he was. I let her read some male connection between me and my dad as adults a few years ago, and he said, "Oh, yeah." She said, "I really understand now that he's got some issues."
Sorry, I'm trying to follow you.
Sorry, my psychologist.
Yeah, psychologist. Somebody who was there for you, helping you.
Yeah.
And you gave her the letters between you and your father.
Yeah.
And she was shocked in a way, or
yeah, because something happened at that time. I don't go into too much detail because I don't want to. I feel guilty when I'm negative about him. He doesn't live anymore.
I like details.
By the way,
he doesn't live anymore.
No.
And still, you feel guilty if you would talk about him
in a negative way. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because it wasn't his fault. I think if I read a book about narcissism, and I felt like they were writing about my dad.
Yeah, so I had this assumption too. 5 or 10 minutes ago, my intuition told me if your father would be a narcissist, or at least show narcissistic behavior, which is something else, and being a narcissist, which is quite severe label. Yeah. But he had some characteristics of this, you could say, at least, right?
Yeah.
So he likes attention, right?
Yeah.
This is the core quality of a narcissist, that the narcissist wants to be admired, wants to be attention, wants to have attention all the time because it's all about him or her.
Yeah.
So does this describe your father?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if you seek attention, you must have in a way have a kind of association that this looks like your father.
Yeah.
So you don't want to look like your father. We can establish that.
No, with all respect.
He did his best.
He's got a great sense of humor, and I think he got a great sense of humor. So he's got positive ways. He meant well. Yeah. If he would be a narcissist, which is never diagnosed because
Yeah.
Narcissists don't.
Narcissists don't diagnose themselves.
No. So I don't even know if he knows, but even then, it's not his fault. So that's why I don't be negative about him.
But we're not talking about your father, and we're not judging him.
No.
But I'm talking to you, and I'm curious about how does this all influence you and your life and your inability to get attention when you need it. Right, this is where you are here. You're an attention seeker. So, in this respect,
feel I am.
Yeah. Oh, you really feel you are.
Yeah, because I talk a lot. I'm there. It's not like.
Are you seeking attention right now? Are you seeking attention? Do you feel in this conversation that it's too much about you, or can you feel at ease now in this setting?
I did think quite a few times.
During the conversation,
why am I talking so much?
Yeah, I was
thinking
the same
one
too.
example.
Yeah.
Other people give 4 examples. It takes me half an hour to explain one.
Yeah. So really, the self-image, negative self-image, I am an attention seeker, is the core of this conversation until now. Yeah. And all we have said only confirms this assumption.
Yeah.
You are an attention seeker.
Yeah. So. Even though I thought the problem was calling in sick and being a nuisance in that way, that's how I came in. But actually, the core problem is I'm an attention seeker.
Yeah. So if you,
she's always got something.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And her heart doesn't work. Her vessels don't. Yeah. And then she drops off during
and then
walking.
She's crying about it.
Yeah. Attention seeker. And you definitely don't want to be attention seeker. You want to be just modest and do your thing like your mother and not crying and persevere.
Yeah. And I cry very easily.
Yeah.
Especially, for example, when someone gets angry, it really scares me. And the reaction is that I get tears in my eyes. I don't want to. And then again, I think, oh my God, I lost credits again.
I'm attention. So seeking attention is losing credits. These two are combined to one another. Yeah. And people will reject you or want to move away from you because you are seeking too much attention.
Which is strange because no one ever does. You know?
But it's in your head.
It's in my head. Yeah.
And the ambulance during the running didn't notice you because you just run till you were at the police, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this ambulance didn't notice that you were an attention seeker. It's all happening in your head. Right?
Yeah, it's all in my head,
So now having established this, my question would be, is there an even worse word for somebody who is drawing too much attention? I don't think so, but just to check, that would describe your fear of how you would come across. Is this the worst word you have in your vocabulary? Just to check, right?
I think so, because you got the hypochonder, but it's not that because that's specifically medic.
Right. And a seeker is something worse, right? You seek... You don't want to.
It's always about me.
Egocentric.
Egocentric. Yeah.
Egoistic.
Yeah.
These are all the characteristics of a narcissist, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
So you don't want to be a narcissist too, which you could easily.
I was really worried at some stage, but fortunately, this psychologist said, "Trust me, you're really not."
No, but it didn't help because when you were running, you kept on running, although there was an ambulance. So you were helped, but not helped enough, one could say.
Yeah.
So now having said this, how to deal with this negative self-image coming across as a attention seeker? How to deal with this problem? Yeah. Do you have an answer for this?
No. I think that's why I'm here. No, I know thinking about it that it's stupid.
It's irrational.
It's irrational.
You are not like your father, right? We can say so.
Yeah, we can say so. And
are you sure? Are you sure? You are not like your father.
Yeah, my brain's the thinking part of my brain.
You know, but you don't. It doesn't feel maybe like this, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like another voice in my head that says, "Yeah, but you're doing an Ironman and you're posting it on Facebook that you finish. That's attention seeking. So you kind of are." And then another part says, "No, I'm not," because he always wanted to be, more, be more. And I'm not like that. I've got a lovely job and I don't want to be higher and higher. I just love what I do. I don't need people to confirm all the time that I'm doing it right because,
Okay, so let me, if I may interrupt you, theoretically, rationally, you are not an attention seeker, but it does feel so, right?
Definitely feels so,
Definitely,
And
right.
sometimes I think it too, but then kind of talk myself into.
Right. The problem is that now and then in life, people do need attention because they can die during a run, and they need attention and help.
Yeah.
And now and then, it's nice just to post something on Facebook and tell people what you do. But for you, this is very difficult because everything you put yourself on center stage.
Yeah.
Although it's necessary just to keep you alive, for example.
Yeah.
All these times, this will confirm the emotional self-experience of drawing attention and seeking attention.
Yeah.
And you can't live a life where you cannot seek any attention at all. Part of life is that you now and then need attention, albeit just to stay alive, right?
Yeah, that's
so you will never be
able.
able.
That's eye open in a way because that's true. Yeah,
you can't lead a life where you seek no attention at all. This is a life of complete solitary.
Yeah.
So you will, if this is a self-image you carry with you, you will encounter situations where this self-image is being reinforced.
Yeah. And I still think, part of me does think, do I talk too much about myself?
No, you don't talk too much about yourself. I like this conversation. You don't talk too much about...
Not just now, but just in life, generally.
Yeah, I don't care, but you care. You care.
I care, yeah.
Yeah, if this is a negative self-image you carry with you, all the time there is attention focused on you, you are in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Because immediately your brain goes to the idea, am I not seeking too much attention right now?
Yeah.
Even though it's quite logical
am
that...
I like him.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be like him.
No. Although I do love, part of me loves him.
He must have his charming traits.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. He was the way he was.
Yeah. But it's not about, to be clear, this whole conversation is not about judging him. It's about how you are going through life, right?
Yeah.
So now, all this has confirmed the idea that you carry this negative self-image of seeking attention seeker, right?
Yeah.
How to get rid of it? That's the question, right? Because it's bothering you.
Yeah, it's a big elephant in the room.
Yeah. For you, not for me. Because if you would ask me up front or after this conversation, what do you think my negative self-image would be? I haven't got a clue. I haven't.
No.
Because you come across as a very modest, quite normal person like everybody else. I could have guessed 1,000 things, but the least of them would be attention seeker. You don't come across as attention seeker at all. And does this really surprise you?
Yeah, it does.
This is weird.
Yeah.
This is really weird. It's in your head. It's not in the conversation. It's not in reality. No,
and at the same time, this voice in my head says...
He doesn't really see me. He doesn't really see me.
You should speak to the people...
that really know me.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's in your head. It's not in the people around you. It's certainly not in those with the ambulance that you didn't stop. They don't think about you at all.
No.
Because you just kept on running.
Yeah.
Well... as we have established, it's all between your ears.
Yeah.
It's an idea. It's not a reality. And as we have established that in life you now and then need attention, you can't avoid a life not drawing attention at all because you need help and you need love and you need whatever.
Yeah.
People need one another. You are not different than I am. Everybody needs attention now and then just to stay alive or felt loved. Love is also about attention. Nothing wrong with being loved.
Yeah.
It's impossible to be loved and not have attention.
No, that's true.
You agree, right?
Yeah.
So knowing that you cannot lead a life where in which you don't draw any attention, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Knowing that you cannot avoid situations where you might think this.
Yeah.
It's completely impossible. Now, how to deal with this negative self-image? Well, there are more strategies to do so. One of them I like is to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to put a T-shirt on during your Ironman's attention seeker.
Yeah.
And make fun of it because it's in a way it is absurd. So the best thing to deal with absurdity is not being serious, but being absurd too.
I think I tried that, and at the time it didn't work. I've never thought about the fact that it's actually impossible to live a life
without attention.
In connection with other people and the world.
It would be a life without love.
Yeah, which I don't want.
You don't want it, and it's impossible, and you would die.
Yeah,
because now and then you need a hospital or an ambulance, right? Just to stay alive.
Yeah.
it's so weird that you were relieved that you really had a serious physical problem. You were psychologically relieved, not physically, which is absurd. You should have been relieved really when you had nothing, right?
Yeah, which I was. I mean, don't get me wrong.
In a way too, right.
I'm really happy with how the results came back.
Right.
The medical side. There's just two sides to it.
Yeah, everybody has more identities floating around in one's head.
Yeah.
So make fun of it. Put a T-shirt on, attention seeker. That's why I run this idiot Ironman run, whatever. Meditate. Just with some cognitive insight, just really think about it and talk about it like you are doing now. And really knowing there's a difference between what you are and what you think you are.
Yeah.
That theoretically, it's nonsense that you are an attention seeker because you don't show the behavior that fits to this person. You just theoretically So there are more strategies, but I like fun the most. But it's up to you.
I kind of think that would kind of work. Because if I think about wanting as much attention as he did, or he needed to, I thought, oh my God, I wouldn't dream of it.
No, but do dream of it.
Yeah, so
in a funny way, right?
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. I think that could actually work.
You're experiencing a little bit fun right now.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on this? What's happening right now?
Yeah, I just see this. Like when you're running a race, quite often there's like your name on there, so people shout your name. Like, keep going. And if I sign up not as my name being Mirjam, but my name being attention seeker, then it's actually printed on the race number. Maybe I should just do it.
Yeah. Or give a kind of call a kind of Antoinette, a name that you and I know that's about attention seeker.
Yeah.
A kind of acronym.
AS,
and
then a short
whatever.
one because everyone shouts the short ones.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Truus or so.
Truus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe this is a good intervention too. So give this part of your brain that this is an attention. So you can give it a name like Truus or whatever.
Yeah.
And Truus wants attention, which is funny because it's absurd.
Yeah, it's true because we like at work when something happens, like or whenever someone drops something, we always jokingly say, "Oh, do you want some attention?" And that works because it's funny. Or even if I do something stupid, sorry guys, I just want some attention.
Yeah.
But not really for this problem. But it does work,
You are the attention. You are the attention seeker, and make a play of it, a movie, or whatever.
Yeah.
Exaggerate it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of relieved. Yeah.
Because from now on, hopefully you don't have to fight it, but you can just embrace it and then let it go.
Yeah.
After embracing.
Maybe I can hack on Utrecht Central Station, hack the intercom. And just
hello.
Hello. I'm an attention seeker.
Yeah. You can meet me there and there.
Yeah.
You can bring me flowers and presents and whatever. I have all the time in the world.
I like rituals. Yeah.
I like it. I like to be center stage.
Yeah. Look what I'm doing. Look how.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
And if I don't die, I will act as if I'm dying.
Yeah.
Are there any ambulances here?
Yeah.
I need ambulances. I need ambulances.
Yeah. That kind of works because, obviously, I really didn't want this attention. So it's true. It's a kind of mind fuck.
Yeah, your mind told you all the time until this conversation, don't be an attention seeker. Suppress. Put it in a box. Forget about it. You don't want to be this. So suppress is the main strategy until now.
Yeah.
But now you have found, together with me, a new strategy, which is exaggerate. Let go.
Yeah.
Put it in the light, not in the dark.
Yeah.
But once it's in the light, it then just can go away. And as long as you lock it up in the dark, it will only grow and stay there.
Yeah, then it's a big
as soon as you open the door, it comes out and it's a monster.
Yeah.
And as soon as the monster can get into the open space, it can just fly away.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for some, do I experience relief? Yeah, there's relief over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we are at the end of this conversation.
It's a shame I can't tell my dad, really.
Yeah. He'll know this one way or the other.
Knows.
In a way.
And maybe he's also... I always like to think that now he's dead, he doesn't need his narcissistic personality anymore.
Maybe, could be.
Yeah.
While on Earth, he had this longing for a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But fortunately, he had a daughter who was running a hotel, right? We should get it.
No, I was one of the managers.
Right. Just completely like a grey mouse in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the many...
many people not standing out.
No.
So I think we are at the end now.
Yeah.
And you think so too? This is a strong yes from your part?
A very strong yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm really curious how this will all work out, and putting it into the light and making jokes about it. I hope I have the hope that it can eventually just float away.
Yeah. I think it will.
It's not an issue at all whether you seek attention. To me, as I've experienced you now during this conversation, and in the conversation we had a few minutes before this podcast, the idea that you are an attention seeker is completely idiotic for me. But this is my reflection to you.
Relief. Yeah,
it's really
it's great to know.
It's stupid that you think this, and it's funny.
Yeah,
especially funny.
Yeah,
it's
like
not an issue at all.
Yeah,
maybe this will help.
Yeah,
like your psychologist told you, right? It's not an issue at all. Just forget about it and let it go and make fun about it.
Yeah,
and just carry on running and go to the next Iron Man and put it on Facebook and say, I'm an attention seeker. And everybody says, huh? You?
Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. What an insight.
Thank you. Yeah. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, with all pleasure.
Wondering how our guest is doing these days? Well, we recently caught up with them. Stay tuned to hear their latest update.
Hello, Fabienne and Bertolt. It's Mirjam. It's been a couple of months ago that I came to see you, and it was great to be there. I was very curious to see or to find out which direction this conversation would go. I'm very impressed with Bertolt's skills to get to certain insights without actually knowing me or knowing my background, but just know about the problem. I never actually... Well, what really helped me was two things. It's the insight or the eye-opener to know that my fear of being an attention seeker actually came from my fear of looking like my dad or being like my dad, or at least the narcissistic part of it. And what helped as well is the way to handle it. So to say to myself in an exaggerating way, oh my God, you are an attention seeker. And because of doing this a lot of the time and also asking, for example, colleagues or friends to say this to me, I realized how stupid it actually sounded. And I feel now that I'm actually not an attention seeker. And me and my dad have got different type of characters. And it makes life feel a bit lighter. It sounds big, but that's really how it feels. So it really helped me a lot. And I hope it will help other people as well. Because I learn from other people's problems or going to battles with their problems. They help me a lot. And I hope this conversation will help other people. So I'm a bit nervous of it going public. But at the same time, it's definitely worth it. Okay, thank you very much. And hope to see you one day. Bye-bye.